Welcome, one and all, to the Just Too Sweet Show. I am the Big Essential. It's Tuesday night. It's time to do. But right here, oh, I'm pointing the wrong way already. All right, we'll start over here. We got the next big thing, Bert Lesnar.
Yo.
The boss himself joining us once again, doing us a favor. Down here, my tag team partner with the bad guy himself, Mr. Arick. Oh, look at this Hollywood Dave back once again. He's not this time. What's going on, fellas?
Nothing much. How to do that intro?
Staying essential, staying safe.
You almost got muted, Dave.
Always.
Hollywood.
Well, it's the famous Tuesday after WrestleMania. Raw was very underwhelming last night. Kind of disappointing. Well, in my opinion, it was kind of disappointing. We'll talk about that too. We're going to do a complete WrestleMania recap. But like I said, we were just talking about one thing I want to bring up real quick, and that's the New Jack Dark Side of the Ring. I don't know, Arick, if you heard. Did you see the Dark Side of the Ring episode?
I watch every one of them. I've seen it.
Did you know he was that sick?
Yeah, well, dude, you got to understand something, man. I wrestled during that era, and I knew all about New Jack. And
how is he not in jail?
You got to understand something, man. Back then, wrestling was like the Wild West, bro. I actually, I don't know why I signed up for it, but during this whole era of Extreme, like everybody, independence, everybody wanted to follow suit. So I get to the match one night, and not only does my partner not show up, I'm fighting the Latin Hit Squad. Let that sink in. They're the Latin Hit Squad. Okay? So they don't give a crap about what, they do to you. Actually, let's be honest, they were probably two of my best friends, but I'm trying to kayfabe here.
Hold it together.
So the booker says, "Oh, by the way, this is a fan bring your own weapons match. We've been posting all week bills around town, and we put it on our website." So I'm like, "Oh no!" So now I'm in a handicap bring your own weapons match by the fans. Okay, somebody brought a typewriter. Ooh. There were like numerous wiffle ball bats. What else is this? Oh, some idiot brought a kitchen sink. He brought a kitchen sink into the building, and I'm getting beat pillar to frickin' post. I mean, my back. You don't even want to know. I won. Okay, I beat them both. And garbage cans, you name it. But how this ties into New Jack is because that was gaining momentum during 98, 99. And everybody was trying to capitalize on it because of the shock value and because they're like, my God, they do this in professional wrestling. You know what? So New Jack, I knew how sick he was. We knew the sick crap that they were doing over in ECW. So after a while, Offa started toning it down. He's like, man, he goes, this isn't what we need to be doing. So he toned it down eventually, and he just got back to wrestling with us. And as you know, ECW kind of, went by the wayside. But New Jack had a rep, and we all knew it. Some of the guys knew him. Some of the guys worked with him. But he, sick son of a bitch, man. I mean,
I said, we were just talking about it. He ended up beating the crap out of a 17-year-old who lied about his age, said he was 21, gets into a ring, has the balls to tell New Jack, I want to get some offense in. And apparently, Arick, you don't do that to veterans? Is that true?
No. Okay. What you
that was his number one mistake then.
No, that was when I heard that, this is exactly what I did. I'm watching, I'm just sitting there. I went, oh, no.
Well, that's what Sandman said. Sandman said the same thing. He goes, oh, that's why.
Yeah. The Sandman was great on that, wasn't he?
He's another sicko, another sick maniac.
I met him once.
He's a woo.
He's a woo. He's a woo.
He takes his 17-year-old kid. He beats the living hell out of him. He takes a surgical knife, slices this kid's head open. I don't even think he sliced it. I think he literally dug the knife into the guy's skull. Blood gushing. Jumps off the top rope with a chair onto the guy's face. The guy's father is screaming at ringside. He's only 17. He's only 17. Wow. And the guy avoided jail. The guy avoided jail.
What? Okay.
How does that happen?
I gotta make a point though. And I agree with the ruling, the judge with New Jack. I agree with it because why was the father there? And then all of a sudden he wants to shout out, "Oh, I'm 17." You know what I mean? Like he said,
"Yeah." You didn't see it, Steve. The kid lied. The kid was like an amateur wrestler. He had 2 midgets with him, and they do stupid shows. He lied to Paul Heyman. Told him he was 21, and he went actually told New Jack. First of all, he said, "I want to get some offense in," and apparently that's not what you do to a veteran, especially a lunatic. Second of all, he said, "I want to get some color," which is code for blood. Okay. So right there. He lost that case when he went.
There's strike 2. That's actually strike 3. That's strike 3.
The referee said you knew ahead of time what he was going to do. You can't sue for that. So after the match, what was the next one? Was the who was the wrestler he fought? Vic Grimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when he threw him off the scaffold.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the first they did a spot. When Grimes landed on top of New Jack. I mean, we're talking how many feet? 25 feet, 30 feet in the air?
Probably at least 20.
Cracked New Jack's skull. New Jack was all screwed up. And the guy made the mistake of not calling New Jack and apologizing or saying, "Hey, how you doing?"
For a year.
So New Jack gets him back in the ring. They're up on a scaffolding again. He tried to throw him. He says it. He admits it right out in the show.
Yeah.
To throw him onto the ground. He wanted
to miss him
completely. He wanted to cripple the guy.
He tased him.
He missed. I tried to throw him onto the floor, but he didn't land that way. He landed on the ropes.
Did you hear what he said?
Oh my God!
That's attempted murder.
The fact that he just got a sprained ankle from that was like.
He got a sprained ankle. He freaking tased him.
It's like the worst thing he got.
He goes, I can't feel my legs. He goes, I don't worry, you ain't gonna need them. And he just throws him.
Tased him. He's gonna feel his legs, and then it pulls him off the scaffolding.
Right off.
I'm just letting Steve know. Fast forward.
It's like
he's fighting a 70-year-old man in a gym. Now this man's gimmick was he can't feel pain. I don't feel pain. But no one told New Jack what the gimmick was. So New Jack would hit him and he wouldn't sell. You're not going to sell to this lunatic. He beat the living piss out of this 70-year-old man in front of a gym full of kids, a gym full of people, and they were all calling him the N-word, and it just made it get worse and worse.
Oh my God,
yeah, dude!
And then
holy shit!
The final the other guy, he just decides to start stabbing. I'm going to stab you. Stab it. You can watch the video. All you see him doing this, and the guy's back.
Where do you see this?
You might be able to see something on that one channel. It's called, what's that channel with the videos that you can sometimes look up? YouTube. You may or may not be able to find something on there.
Did you watch it?
I think Steve's more into RedTube.
Dave, did you watch it?
RedTube, Pornhub.
Hello.
No, I haven't seen it yet, guys. But I'm kind of curious with Arick.
Where'd we go?
Yeah, Tim, I hear you.
Oh, as a Dave, did you watch the New Jack special?
Yeah, no, he said he hasn't seen it yet. Are you in? You can't hear him?
No.
No, I can't hear Dave.
I can hear him.
Oh, great.
What did you say, Dave?
There's always something got to go wrong. It wouldn't be this show.
What I kind of want.
No, but yeah, it's on Vice and it is on.
I want to get back to Arick. Was there any restrictions
the footage
to the
and it's
fan event thing?
It's sick. I don't know how the dude.
This is great. Tim can't hear Dave. Dave's trying to talk.
Oh, Dave, talk. Send me a signal. I can't hear you.
Are there restrictions to what, Dave?
You said to the what weapons the fans can bring.
You said the fans bring a weapon. Like what? Was there like a thing like okay, don't bring this?
Well, no, but they had guys like at the door because people were getting crazy. Somebody brought like a samurai sword. Somebody brought like a bar. Of course, they brought a bat wrapped in barbed wire. And they were going to let that in. I said, if you let that in, I said, I'm not doing it. I said, I'm not doing it. I said, I'm not Cactus
You're
Jack.
okay with a typewriter?
I didn't know somebody had the typewriter. I'm sitting there, dude. I just got waffled with a wiffle ball bat on my bare back that's sweaty, and like I'm screaming in pain.
What else did you get? What else did you get hit with?
Well, I turned around, and you know, this one of the hit squad had a freaking typewriter, like one of those like 1960s ones. You know what I mean?
Like,
they were
like this big,
metal ones.
Like what all those hipsters want to have now, and in Brooklyn. And
do they really?
And all I remember seeing is like this ugly brown like felt stuff coming at me, and I waffled me with it. I was out. I was gone.
We have lost the host.
Where'd he go?
I don't know, but
there's PVC pipe.
Arick, what's the worst thing?
What's up?
So, what's the worst thing you've ever been hit with?
Worst thing I've ever been hit with. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. A steel chair is the worst, man. Because if you don't do it right, you get hit with the roll part on the top. I got my head split open. You can still feel the scar. I had 25, 30 stitches.
I have a steel chair story.
You do?
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, Dave, test. Can Tim speak? So see if Tim can hear you.
10. Yeah.
We're good. Okay.
It's a little blurry, but a little staticky, but I can hear now.
All right. So my steel chair story is that when I used to work at Best Buy back in the day, and after the store closed, we would hit each other with clipboards and whatever was around, and it got to the point where even when the store was open, we would just it'd be customers, and they just hear this wham clipboard. And so there was one night where one of the managers, I was a supervisor, and so a supervisor and manager. So one of the managers had the back turned towards me, and I picked him. I just grabbed him, I pick him up, and I suplex him onto the floor. So there's that. A little bit later on, I thought he left. A little bit later on, I am at the water fountain, leaning over, drinking out of the water fountain. And I just get wailed on with this steel chair in my back, and all I see is him hauling ass, and I just got hit with a steel chair. Luckily, it wasn't in the head like you, Arick, but it hurt.
Well, you got to understand something. You have to trust the guys that you're working with, and you're out there to help each other and protect one another. And once in a while, you get a couple of rogue guys that just don't care. And I was wrestling, Vince and I are wrestling these two scrubs named the Grungers, Well, I'd still like to get a hold of them. And, which we did wrestle them again. I beat the piss out of them. And, but anyway, he's the one that busted me open. Because they were trying to be all hard and extreme or whatever, but they're just a couple of runts. I mean, they're okay, but I don't know. They're assholes. But anyway, one of them busted me open, and then in the next match, I was stiffing the hell out of them. But they liked it. I'm thinking to myself, like, you guys are nuts, man. It's like, I'm not out here to. I don't want to go home looking like a baboon. You know what I mean? It's like I want to come out here and have fun. Which they didn't get booked much after that because A, they sucked, and 2, the grunge era was kind of dying, so they were kind of behind. They probably should have done like the Goth or the Creed. Like they should have been Creed or something, like not the Grungers.
The arms wide open.
Yeah, they had like wispy hair and like
Wide open.
There you go.
But yeah, so that's
No offense to you.
F the Grungers. If you're listening, guys, if the Grungers are out there, there you go.
Arick, I said no offense to you, but everybody gets hit with a wiffle ball bat. I was hit with a wiffle. You grow up in my family, you get hit with a wiffle ball bat.
Not 26 times in a row.
True.
And then
I did the powder to the face.
Not pleasant. That's not pleasant.
Oh, you had a Mr. Fuji on you?
Arick, this was at Paul Strauss's house.
You guys did that up at Paul's?
They said, "Hey, you want to have a Royal Rumble?" Sure. You guys go in the kitchen. You set the
Okay.
microwave to 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes you go in. So I didn't put together that my friend Paul's older brothers were the first two in the ring. I didn't put that together. That was a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, boom, 2 minutes comes up. It's my turn. I walk in all tough. As soon as I hit the living room, I got a fistful of powder right to my eyes. Couldn't see anything. I get a boot, a giant boot to the skull. I go right down on the ground, and I feel the spikes of this boot. How about yay big? Right in the ear. And I get stomped on 5 or 6 times, and they threw me out. I was done.
They threw me out.
My face is covered in powder. It was ridiculous.
Wait, what constituted getting thrown out? Where did you have to go?
Right back out where you came in. You get thrown out through the doorway.
Oh, okay.
And they
We
right through that door.
There was a big yard at one of my friend's house, and we used to do that. And it was a chain link fence, and it was like it wasn't too high. It was like maybe 3.5, 4 feet tall, and that was the rumble. We had to throw them over the chain link fence.
I didn't trust any of my friends to throw me over a fence.
Wow.
I was in a real Royal Rumble. It's pretty interesting how that works too. You wouldn't
imagine.
You wouldn't believe how they do it.
I always wondered how they figured that out.
Well, this is how we did it.
And what's the contingency plan? That's what I always wanted to know. That's what
The contingency plan is always to have your guys you want at the end to be there.
Accidental throw out.
That
kind of thing.
Or like Kofi Kingston trying to bounce back in on the chair, and he gets out.
That's reaching.
Well, I think with him that's planned though.
It is.
Oh no! I'm not saying it's not planned. But what happens if like one of the wheels on the chair breaks and you go flipping over? You're out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah. But the way we did it was, we knew number one. Well, we knew our number. You know what I mean? Like I think I was like no, I was low. I was like 8. They're like, yeah, throw him in early. But you go out. You know which guy goes out. Like Alpha told me, he goes, when you see him go, that's when you got to go. I said, okay. So I stayed in there. I was in there like, I don't know, 15 minutes. I was like, wow, man, I'm going to do like the Rick Martel here. And next thing I know, I see, I think it was Tommy Suede. I can't remember who it was, but he went flying over the rope. I got grabbed by Samu. He goes, see you later. I went, oh shit. He goes, make it look good. So I did a high jump over the rope. I went flying way over. I saw a look on Samu's face. He's like, you looking at me like this, going, like I did that. I made him look real good. That's how you do it. You're told.
Good sell.
You know which guy is going out, and of course Sam basically booked it. So, when your guy goes, you see whoever go, you got to go up to somebody and say, all right, well, I got to get out of here. They're like, okay, there you go.
You're done.
And you gimmick it up. You gimmick it up. It's actually fun. It was a lot funner than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be a disaster, but no, it's Pat Patterson came up with that. So, kudos to him. That's a good gimmick. I had a lot of fun.
Pat Patterson.
And the first ever winner of the Royal Rumble?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh!
Never forget that.
Never forget that.
That was great.
Of all the
All right,
people, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Let's get to the most interesting WrestleMania in history. A little underwhelming, in my opinion. I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. I don't want to start with
Well, look, I was listening to Bill Simmons, and he watched it. He's a wrestling fan, but he said wrestling has gotten exposed over the last few with this coronavirus, and you never, or I think I did, and most of us do, but you never realized how much how much wrestling depends on entrances and crowd pops and that kind of stuff when you start watching Raw and there's nobody out there.
Well,
that's why I watch WrestleMania.
But for me, though, it wasn't only that. I felt it was an underwhelming card. never mind the crowd and all that crap, because I feel you can still put on a good wrestling match without you can't obviously the pop entrance and the music and the cheering and the crowd might sway a match one way or another. I just felt the card was underwhelming. In my personal opinion. What do you guys think? Bert, what do you think?
Well, I think
I agree with some of those matches. Like I said, there was no build up to a lot of them.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
I think the reason they did that with I think it was 16 matches in the nights that they had. I think they did that to give more guys an opportunity and to present as many chances of good matches that they can do. Like, even though it was put together like randomly, like I thought the Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley match was pretty decent. But I know a lot of people, it was strange, or it's been strange that they're working with no crowd. But a lot of these guys, especially the veterans, they're used to working with like less than 10 people in an arena, or like 2 people in the crowd. You got to go out there, you got to make it work. And so a lot of the matches, besides the big 2 that everyone's talking about, that weren't really matches, but like Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, that was a really good match. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, very good match. And the title matches, even though they were very quick, they were fun. Basically just spamming finishers. And
I think that was a disgrace. I personally think it was a disgrace.
She's the queen.
I don't know.
It was literally finisher, kick out, finisher, kick out, finisher, kick out. We're done. Both matches. These are the world titles. These are the 2 major titles, and they were the exact same match. There was no, I don't know. I don't want to see Lesnar or Goldberg ever again. Neither one of them.
I agree with that.
The thing is, though, with the championship, sometimes it depends. It depends who has the title. It's been more who has the title compared to the importance of the actual title. Because back then, it used to be the title match would always be the most important match, regardless. But in this WrestleMania, just for example, even though the match I felt was a little bit underwhelming, just because there wasn't a crowd to react to what was going on, I thought that Edge and Randy Orton, even though it went a little bit too long, that was probably the best match.
It's still going on right now.
I think. Yeah. It's crazy. It was the second longest. It was the second longest WrestleMania match next to the Iron match, which is crazy. Like, there were 36 minutes.
And I saw the Instagram post from Edge saying he didn't think he had that in him.
Me.
I mean, for me, as somebody who hasn't watched wrestling in a while, that was my favorite match, because that brought me back to when I was still watching it. Orton and Edge, Rated RKO. So I love that match. But it did go on way too. We talked about it in the group chat. It was a little bit too long. But it was still my favorite match.
And then shout out to Otis. He got Mandy. He did it. He beat Dolph Ziggler. I love that. That would have been a big pop if they did that in an audience. That would have been huge.
With the big reveal,
I think. But
that Daria, whatever her name is, was the culprit. That's old school right there.
Yeah.
One more thing about the Edge and Orton match. You couldn't tell that there was no crowd because they didn't do anything in the ring. So I think that might have been part of it
in the beginning, and that's it.
Yeah, I think that was maybe part of it, because you weren't missing any pops being backstage.
No.
It's true. But like you said, and the 2 gimmicky matches that really had no audience and never planned on having an audience. Probably the most entertaining 2 of the entire.
The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah. The Boneyard match.
Well, let's get through the easy ones, right? So Cesaro defeated Drew Gulak, whatever. Liv Morgan, who, by the way, everyone is picking her to be the next giant star. How is she in the pre-show?
Yes.
How is she in the pre-show? Everyone's picking her to be the next big thing, women-wise.
Well, maybe
pre-show.
That might have been that they filmed that match. They probably filmed all the matches and decided what was going to be pre-show and what wasn't going to be pre-show. Maybe.
Well, I know the whole Rusev getting hurt destroyed that whole storyline, and they just pretty much put her in.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little ridiculous. Let's see. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross beat
Yeah.
the Kabuki Warriors for the tag titles, which I never thought the
That was
women's
decent.
tag title would become so insignificant so quickly. But they really have.
Are any titles relevant now? I mean, seriously.
Well, I mean, the women. I was so psyched for the women's tag titles. And
I don't think any titles hold any credence or significance anymore. I think they've lost their credibility.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far.
I think maybe
Well,
on
I think
the
some
main
have.
roster, but I think the NXT titles mean more when they get lost or won because they mean more in the long run.
I have a question. Because
Yes.
I don't get the is NXT the minor leagues of WWE or is it its own
Not
separate
anymore.
entity? Okay,
Yes.
because I was wondering why would
It's yes
Charlotte
and no.
Flair want the NXT title when she's won all I don't know how many titles. I think they said 10 or so titles in WWE. So why would she want the NXT title?
Oh, Christ, there's a Flair that's a 10-time champion. Oh, can she work with a broomstick too?
Hey,
This
man.
one's got boobs.
Look, you don't want to know what I do to her, so just let's change the subject.
Well, it's more like it's a third brand now. It is the development system, but they consider it the third. Because look, you can't escape the fact that it's the number one show between the three shows.
No, it
the
is
most popular. It's the
better
most
wrestling.
Clearly.
better wrestling.
Yep.
I mean, you can't deny it. So Finn Balor went back. You know, you find all these wrestlers wanting to go back there.
And he's been doing great on NXT since he went back.
Yeah. They're showing his personality.
Because Finn Balor, because Finn Balor, when he was on Raw and SmackDown, I feel like they didn't really know how to use him.
Which is dumb, considering
Yeah,
you got the demon and all that stuff. You know
how talented he is.
I think the camera setup is different too, and I think that helps. You get better angles on NXT. It's almost like the Triple H is using the old school formula, but new schooling it.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I
It's
give him
Triple H's
credit.
baby.
I think it's great. I mean, I think it's great. I'd rather watch that than the freaking mess that they show on you. Come on.
He needs to take over. He needs to
Because you can go back years. You know, every takeover, the weekend of a major pay-per-view is either as good or better than the pay-per-view itself that WWE puts on.
Yeah.
You know, there's countless takeovers that are like better most of the time. You know that honestly, like with each takeover, even if you haven't watched, like sometimes I usually slip up sometimes and I forget to watch NXT sometimes for whatever reason. But with takeovers, I always make sure I watch them because I know that each match is going to be great. Because even like it'll be maybe 5 matches on the card, but each match is going to get at least 15 to 20 minutes. They're going to get time. The audience is already invested. You know, they're going to go out there and they're going to tear the house down. Every match, not just one match. You know, every match. So you always gotta make sure that you follow the person, you know, that went before you. You know, which motivates the talent.
I got an interesting point to make here about this. See if this spurs you guys anything with the relevance and why the event was the way it was. I mean, I've wrestled in front of 10 people before, wrestled in front of 10,000 people before. Alpha always told us, he goes, whether there's 2 people out there, 200 people, or 2,000 people, he goes, you go out there and you work and you do what you know how to do. You get the job done and you come back. He goes, don't eat, because here's the thing, when you get tuned to it, unless you're like playing off and everything, but when you're in the moment, like you don't even know the crowd's there. And sometimes that's better because you start acting on instinct and you and whoever you're wrestling start clicking. And a lot of times, see, now I'm going to bring it to a point. This should show you who's trained good and who's not trained good. Okay? Keep that in mind.
Oh,
I have
the
spoken.
promos have been on point. the promos, the stories have all been fantastic since there's no audience, because no crowd that's just scream, you suck. There's no one screaming that stupid what chant for us.
What?
Oh,
And the
Screaming,
promos have been
screaming CM Punk
Yeah.
every 5 minutes.
Yeah, the promos have been phenomenal. And it's not that I didn't like. I just felt the card was, like I said, underwhelming as far as. But like Dave, like you said it, the build up was shit because of everything that's going on. You didn't really
Yeah.
care as much as you would have at another WrestleMania. You knew Goldberg was going to lose. You knew Lesnar was going to lose. I didn't think that the matches were going to be as bad as they were, but you just knew it. My big surprises were all the women's matches. All of them were a shock to me. We were talking about that in the thing too. We'll get to that one. What's the first one? Becky Lynch actually beat Shayna Baszler. I was shocked as shit. Dave, you picked Becky, didn't you?
I was surprised.
I had Becky winning. I thought she was gonna win like by disqualification or something. I didn't think she was gonna win the way she won.
Which was shocking. I'm not the only one who was shocked by that.
No, I was surprised too.
All the women shocked. Charlotte winning. I thought this was the time for Charlotte to become the veteran, do the right thing, and give Rhea Ripley her due. Nope.
I don't think she's at that state yet.
At what, the do the right thing stage?
She's at the do the right thing stage, but is she a veteran? I mean, how long has she been doing it?
She's been around a long time.
5 years.
But don't forget,
she's been on top for 5 years.
She's not in her 20s, though. She didn't start in her 20s. She started she was old.
She started later, yeah.
She started old. She was older.
Well,
so she has to be.
But I think they partly did that title change because they need more babyface women wrestlers. They have too many heel wrestlers. Heel women wrestlers. Because Rhea Ripley, besides her, it's really the only major babyface, and besides of course Becky Lynch. But I think for NXT, now that Charlotte is going to defend the title and go back, it's going to help the brand. Because remember too, they're competing head to head against AEW on Wednesday nights, and they need as much star power. Even though they don't need the star power, it wouldn't hurt to have Charlotte Flair every week on there. Plus, the era that Charlotte came from in NXT when she was down there is a lot different than it is now. Now, a lot more women competitors. I believe this week they're having the number one contender ladder match. That's going to determine the number one contender for the NXT Women's title. Yep. So whoever she goes against, I mean, that's going to be interesting. So I think they did that more for building up NXT. And Rhea Ripley, she can always go back and get a rematch in the future. So, and plus, she did good. Like I think a lot of people on Twitter during that match, they were complaining that they were screaming too loud. And it was just like what? I mean,
no, it's a woman fight.
Shit, man. Those chops hurt, man.
Yeah, but a real
half the time the matches are better than the men's.
The only difference between that and an actual woman fighting was there was no bitches being thrown around and hair pulling. The other women's match, Bayley. I was shocked at that one too. Beating 4 of the women.
Really?
Hold on to that time. I thought her time was done. Because I thought since she turned heel, she was a goddamn bore. I guess I'm wrong again. I thought Sasha.
I think she's been boring. I've never been a fan of Bayley.
I thought Lacey or Sasha.
I figured it was. Let's say I was either gonna say either Bayley retained or Sasha won, because like Tamina, they literally bought her back a week ago, so I'm like, well, she's not gonna win, and Naomi, she wasn't gonna win that, and then Lacey was probably the only other one that had potential to win, but with her, they're kind of not sure, because some weeks they're up on her, some weeks they're down with her, but I think the dynamic of Sasha and Bayley that they kept on pushing back and forth, last couple of years, they're trying to really get that out now. But I wasn't really surprised at the finish of that.
Let's see what we had. Sami Zayn beating Daniel Bryan. A shock.
I wish they would have gave more. I wish they would have gave more time to that.
I missed that. I don't know what I was doing, but I missed that match.
It was it was good.
I don't know. Yeah, I missed that.
But you give me. I know it's Sami Zayn's character now that he's like a chicken shit heel, that he doesn't wrestle anymore as much as he used to. But I would have been nice to see like a 20-minute IC title match. Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn can go. And, against Daniel Bryan, like a straight up 20-minute type of fight match for the IC title, which that title kind of deserves. I think that would have been cool. Because I feel like the outside inner stuff was too much. Because he had like
What?
literally 4 people, around.
What?
Don't start.
Really?
I'll shut this shit down right now.
I'll shut this down right now.
The worst thing that happened to wrestling was that.
Come on. It's great.
What else we got? Oh, another interesting one. Because The Miz decides to show up sick to a taping, they turned the tag title triple threat ladder match into a singles ladder match, 3-way match between Morrison, Jimmy Uso, and Kofi Kingston, which again, I don't think you've ever had a bad ladder match.
I thought it was...
If you have a bad ladder match, you better quit wrestling.
Yeah.
It was a good match, but the circumstances were a little... I didn't even know what happened until we were on the chat with you guys. I'm like, where the hell's the rest of this match? But the Miz
the thing...
I think that's the match that missed the fans the most.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, I think.
I was saying that match, we gotta give him props, because usually in matches like that, Arick probably knows, but with no audience, you don't have as much adrenaline running through you. So all those bumps that they took with the ladders and stuff, it probably hurts a lot more when there's no audience. Because you're kind of not going for the motions, but you're working the match, but you're not necessarily having that same energy that you would have if you with audience. So I thought it was pretty good too.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when you don't have an audience, or you have less of an audience, you've got to make it look more real. You don't want to give it away. You want, instead of like a Bret Hart punch, you're giving a New Jack punch. You know what I mean? It's like we came up hard, man, and we hit each other, and and it was a respect mutual thing. It wasn't like like I said before, there were guys that would take liberties. Well, I mean, we were stiff as hell, man. I mean, we just got used to it. I mean, we were trained by Samoans. I mean, you can't hurt them. So
of course, yeah.
Don't headbutt him.
Oh, don't hit him. Don't hit him in the face. It's not going to work.
But yeah, it was a decent match, and the finish was pretty cool, the way they did it.
Yeah.
What else could you do? I actually like the finish.
Cool.
Let's see. Elias defeated King Corbin. I was actually shocked by that. They hate Elias. Elias is one of those guys that was so over.
Which is weird.
You're so over, we're gonna bury you. All right, thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah. And then Baron Corbin, like he's just annoying, but I don't know. I wish you had the old Baron Corbin when he had hair.
But you know what? I had this conversation with Arick once. He's really he's one of the only true heels we have.
Really is.
Yeah.
Because people hate him.
I mean, he's like that in real life. Like he's a prick in real life. Like when you see but when you watch like behind the scenes, interviews and documentaries and stuff like that, like you kind of see like his character isn't too far from himself a little bit.
Oh, that could be good and bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
David's back.
Welcome back, Hollywood.
He's back.
Let's see. We got Kevin Owens defeated Seth Rollins. How was that match? Do I remember that match?
It was a really good match.
That was a really good match.
Seth Owens.
Yeah,
Kevin
jumped from the Kevin jumped from the WrestleMania sign onto the table.
How did I miss that? What the hell was I doing during that?
Seth Rollins was beating his ass most of the match.
What the hell was I doing during that match?
I
have to watch that tomorrow now.
Do you guys like the Messiah gimmick for Seth Rollins?
Yes, I do. He needed something different. He needed something fresh. Because he was boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's getting lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Gatorade break.
Maybe he lost his smile somewhere.
Oh, stop with the losing smile. You're still not going to go. You're not going to go with that freaking tournament, are you?
Hey, at least he's not whiny there. He's not whining everywhere.
Let's see. Yeah, we talked about Otis beating up Dolph Ziggler, which would have been the feel-good moment of the night.
That was fun.
The Street Profits defeated Angel Garza and Austin Theory. Where the hell did Austin Theory come from? He came out of nowhere, no?
He came from NXT.
Let's say he came out of nowhere. I didn't know who the hell he was on the before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Oh, the Undertaker rode a bike into the ring. Wow.
Yeah.
Right into the match.
Well, he's American Badass again.
I'd say
he's all his element. He's all of his different gimmicks at one time.
Yeah, he's like
that's what he is now.
He's like the Voltron of Undertakers.
He looks like the American kind of pissed off ass. I don't think he's the badass.
Kind of pissed off.
I don't think there's any Ministry of Darkness in there.
Ooh, that'd be nice. We could
bring that guy back.
Big Viz back.
He's the underbiker, right?
Yeah. The underbiker.
Is Big Viz alive?
No, he's dead.
Okay.
No.
If anybody can bring him back, it's the Ministry of Darkness.
God.
Bring back Midian.
Those are wild times, man.
Let's see. Then we had what? We talked about Edge and Orton, which again, great match, but just a little too long. It was like
too long.
I heard that. This is the song
and it should
that doesn't end. I was like a song in it. Like, this match is never going to end. It's never going to end. But it was a good match, and I give all the props to Edge because what that dude went through, and the fact that he's back doing that crap is fantastic.
It is.
Yeah, make sure you everyone watching this, make sure you watch the WWE 24 on his return to the ring. Very, very good.
Great. That was really, really good.
I'm about halfway through.
You get a little weepy.
2 days?
A little weepy.
Dave.
No, that's the one that I always want to ask.
Got things going on. I got a 5-week-old baby. Give me some time.
That's pretty much the run through. Except I'm saving the best two for last. But yeah, then we had Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar. Underwhelming. It was just a finish fest.
Yeah, I think the 2 title matches benefited from no fans because the fans would have torn them apart. Yeah. I think. I don't know how the fans are these days, but they would,
it wouldn't have been a good main event, like a last match.
Yeah, just think about Lesnar Goldberg and how they treated them, and these guys just went really just back and forth with their finishers. The crowd would have went nuts, and not in a good way.
I think if they were live, they would have been longer. The matches. I think they just did that just for the time and also for the situation.
So 10 finishers instead of 4?
Yeah.
So something interesting about that match that I was reading up today about was at the end when Drew finally won, he said that he did something that apparently they can't do. He looked into the camera and said thank you, like basically to all the fans, and he said that's a no-no in breaking the fourth wall. Nice. And he thought they were going to edit it out, but they ended up leaving it in, and he was kind of happy about that.
They're really trying to push him a lot.
Well, I think he deserves the what he did to win.
Because like last year, yeah. Well, did you guys watch Raw last night?
Unfortunately,
no.
Because I think they tried to alleviate that. I think they tried to alleviate that situation with him going against the Big Show and having like an actual match. Even though I knew the whole time Big Show wasn't going to win, I'm like, they're not going to shit on Drew McIntyre like that.
But again, it's the Big
against the Big Show of all people.
Wait, the Big Show is wrestling?
Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly my point.
His show started yesterday and he's retired. What do you mean?
Yeah,
that's probably why they did it.
Drew McIntyre retired to him. Made him start a family.
Yeah.
I watched 2 episodes, by the way. It's exactly what you think.
Oh, it's up already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 6.
It's a corny, Full House style television.
Full House.
Did we discuss Undertaker match yet?
No.
I mean,
we're saving those. We're saving those for last.
Are you watching that right now, Arick?
Yeah, I just want to say, it looks like they're wrestling at the Gatorland Zoo. Is that right? Or Arick knows about Florida.
The Hardy compound.
Real.
Hey, you know when the last time I was in Florida? What year?
87.
86.
Boom. First time.
I took a shot.
86.
Oh, wow.
87.
87.
Jesus.
Still wasn't developed. It didn't look like what you guys have down there.
Now we got a bunch of idiots down here, you know.
The idiots
we had people on the unemployment line today down in Hialeah, just like next to each other. Oh, I'm done with my pen. Here, you can use it. Baby. What are you doing?
Haven't people ever heard of online? Who goes to the post? Who goes to the
right?
Who goes to the
Guys,
what?
There's some people who can't afford internet, laptop, Wi-Fi. You know, you got to be considerate of them too.
That was a lot of people, though.
I needed to get my ID changed.
It's a lot.
When we moved, I didn't go down to the DMV. I did it right online.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's easy.
You got time to sit in a line at 7 in the morning.
No freaking way. Arick, you actually watch the Undertaker match right now?
I'm watching clips of it.
So wait, does that mean you haven't seen the Firefly Funhouse either?
No.
That was it. I know a lot of people saying that they love that match. I didn't know anything about the gimmick. I'm like, what is happening right now?
But that's the point. That's what makes it so great.
I was like, what is going on? I enjoyed it because they were bringing different things from the past. I thought it was pretty cool. But just the whole concept of it was like, what?
I don't even think you can.
Macho and Vince?
I don't even think you can call those matches per se.
Yeah, what do you do with that?
They were just like segments.
Yeah.
Even though I like them a lot, but I feel like out of both of them, I feel like the Boneyard match I like more because that was more of an actual fight.
Mm.
But I feel like it was out of The Walking Dead. They had music going in the background.
I liked more of the Firefly.
That's the thing.
Funhouse, I felt like it told more of a story.
Well, I feel like the Undertaker AJ Styles had better build up.
It did. Of course it did. Yeah. You had to call him old and making fun of his wife.
Yeah.
That was.
You don't call the Undertaker old on TV.
The Bray Wyatt Cena thing goes back to WrestleMania 30. That was a 6-year thing that I always go back to that where Cena should have done the job to Bray, and that would have went a bit of skyrocket for him. And to me, I always go back to that and think, Bray lost to him, then he lost to Roman. It was like a domino effect for him from that moment. So for it to be brought back now, I thought, man, that was great. That's a good build-up for me.
Yeah, Arick, if you have any acid, drop an acid before you watch the Firefly. I was going to make it better.
I said this match needs to be watched while high.
I didn't even know what to expect with both of those because when they started, it's like, oh, here we go, time for the Boneyard match. I'm just like, okay, what's gonna happen here? And it's just like it turned out fun. I mean, obviously Undertaker can't die. He literally put him in the ground, and then that shot like that Tim posted in the chat where he came up behind him, perfect. But like I was saying, I feel like that redeemed the Undertaker from his match at Goldberg last year. And his last couple of matches too, because Undertaker, that's been a big issue. That he should retire. He doesn't know when to stop. But if who knows what's gonna happen once they work in audiences again? They want to keep on doing this kind of stuff. This make it like a production. Why not?
Well, I don't think
because I feel like if any wrestler can do it, yeah. I feel like if you could do it with any wrestler, you could do it with Undertaker. Because Undertaker is a character. He's a movie character, hands down, besides a great wrestler.
Now,
he has the look, the gimmick, everything.
Now, Arick, you didn't get to see this part yet because after WrestleMania was over, they showed a sneak preview of the Undertaker special coming on the network called. I
watched that too.
That part with Roman Reigns was funny.
Yeah.
It goes all the way back to 2017.
Yeah.
So basically, they've been following him
You don't
around.
keep kayfabe for 10 minutes, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
They've been following him
No
around
shit.
for 3 years to do this documentary.
I didn't know
It's
that.
called The Last Ride.
Mhm.
I'm thinking this was it. I'm thinking
Wow.
this was the last one.
But
Or Survivor
like-
Series, maybe.
I saw the one part where he said, when you're working once a year, it's tough to get back into it. But does this count as work? Like, I mean, he did. It was edited, and they probably stopped a bunch of times, let him catch his breath.
He's
But it's
murdered
not gonna
somebody,
get-
Steve.
He was. I mean, he was bleeding too when
Next
he broke
year's
the
not
window
gonna
that
be
one
better.
time.
That's the only problem. Next
Yeah.
year is not going to be better. He's
Yeah.
not going to be in better shape next year.
Right. Yeah. No,
So-
you're right.
And
Maybe
if
it's something this
if
year.
If this had to be his last match, I think I'd be fine with it, just based on his character.
Let's see Taker Hogan one last time.
Oh God!
Oh, God.
Tuesday in Texas.
Tuesday night in Texas. That was great.
That's like
Tuesday
the-
night in
that's the-
Texas.
that's the
What?
worst-
It was.
That was awesome. What a bonus Tuesday
Nah, but
night
that-
pay per view. What?
Undertaker had the belt for a whole
That
24
that
hours.
choke slam that Hogan took. That choke slam that Hogan took in 02 was like the worst choke slam ever.
It was.
Oh, when
This
he
is
came
like,
back when
oh God, yeah.
Taker came to help him.
It's like the hip surgery, brother. Can't lift too high. Shit.
I know that.
I'm
that
surprised- I'm
Rikishi
surprised-
rock bottom was pretty bad.
Eric,
The which one?
the Firefly
The
Funhouse.
Rikishi rock bottom?
You're gonna enjoy.
Oh, that was terrible. Rikishi rock bottom. The complete.
Rikishi's
botched.
heavy, man. He's heavy, man.
Heavy ain't the word. I'm heavy.
Shit.
Well, you remember the Rikishi, the free fall off the cage into the hay?
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
That was great. Yeah, that was Armageddon.
Hell in itself.
Oh,
Yeah, so Eric, when you get to the Firefly Funhouse, I think you're gonna enjoy it. And you
Okay.
got to pick up all the little inside jokes. The fact that they made a Nikki Bella reference,
That was
one
great.
I thought that took a lot of balls.
I caught that right away.
And that
Yeah.
I turned to my wife and went, "Holy shit, they mentioned Nikki Bella." And even she
I didn't
was like,
catch
what
that.
the hell
Yeah.
is going on here? I was like, I don't
No,
know.
you can look, but you can't touch.
Yeah, you can look what you can.
Oh, that was okay. I did catch it then.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
But you can look, but you can't touch.
Yep.
But apparently that match, the people behind it creatively were obviously Bray Wyatt and Bruce Pritchard,
Oh wow.
which is interesting. I was surprised at how much John Cena was willing to do in this whole segment match. That that I feel like he probably felt better that he wasn't gonna put over Bray Wyatt in the ring, like in an actual match. Like I'll put you over like in a segment that's in your world, because he literally like disappeared when it was done. So was that the last time we see John Cena?
Hopefully.
Maybe.
Never.
Maybe.
I don't think
He's
so.
never going away.
Fingers crossed.
I'm saying
Probably
last time in as like an active competitor, like anything. 'Cause I feel like the next time he should come should be like maybe for an appearance or like when he goes in the Hall of Fame eventually. But I feel like it was good for Bray, because that was literally like he's going into my world. I'm checking him for all his failures, and I'm basically making up for what happened 6 years ago.
Okay, so they mentioned the.
But I thought it was just so original and so different.
Hell yeah, he redid the.
I mean, that's the gent.
That was
Yeah.
cool. He became Eric Bischoff, which was hysterical.
When that happened, I was like, wow, that's crazy.
They did a Saturday Night's Main Event opening skit.
hmm
Behind the cage.
I'm gonna have to
behind the
watch it.
cage. Oh, dude, it's just. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna enjoy it so much just because of the old stupid references and everything. It was fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie, I marked for the fist so bad. I was like, oh my god, the fist. I missed the fist. I missed that set.
I did. I had to go back and watch it again. I was like, listen, I'm gonna go back and watch that one more time. But I couldn't stop laughing through the whole thing.
Even though he
Yeah.
even though he had the JBL cut, it was still funny that he had
Oh my God.
he went into his old gear, which is
Yep.
cool.
And he's wearing the NWO shirt, which somebody never
NWO.
see.
Yeah.
And Yeah, it was just I just thought
because a lot of it was a lot of it was like it went over your head a little bit if you don't really know. But like that's the whole thing where he was like, oh, he was conflicted about turning heel all these years, and that was like what it would be like if he turned heel. Because that whole moment where he was going to hit Bray there in that match at WrestleMania 30, but he didn't do it. I mean, all the failures he had, like when he was beating up the puppet, talking about Orton and Punk and everything like that.
I thought it was good.
So but like I said, I thought it was really well done. Like
Cool.
for I know a lot of purists. Like I was like before this, I was hearing Jim Cornette, and he was like, I don't know how to rate this because it's like. I don't know what the fuck, and this is the match, and Bray Wyatt. I never met the kid. Like he wasn't really too keen on it, but I feel like it's not his cup of tea. Because I know like you have this, and you have like the stuff with the guys wrestling the Invisible Man, and all that. Like there's things times that kind of push the heart a little too much. That kind of take away the realness of it. But at the end of the day, it's wrestling. So I feel like they're gonna handle things with as much taste and respect they can. No, but
well, Jim Cornette is a tough. You can very rarely impress that guy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
he's old school.
I can listen to him talk all day though, because he's like an encyclopedia of knowledge.
Yeah, he's definitely phenomenal.
Yeah,
Bert, that's a $2 fine for your F-bomb. $2 fine.
Steve's face every time an F-bomb happens is hilarious. I wish people could see this. He's just like, damn it.
It's like, damn it.
Well, I want to hear Arick's opinion.
He's Vincent. He's Vincent Gorilla. He's like, oh, don't curse that.
Hey, Arick, you're the closest one to purist in this group. So I'm dying to hear what you think of this nonsense known as the Firefly Funhouse.
Man, I don't know.
Sure.
I got to watch it a little more, and
it's not a match. Just remember that.
Is it just like a thing, or
it's like a squash. Someone called it a cartoon squash, right? Didn't one of you guys call it that?
Yeah, I think I did.
That's basically what it is. It's like a card. If you're watching a cartoon.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. I haven't checked it out yet. So,
but it's hysterical. Like you said, he goes from WrestleMania 30 to the NWO to Saturday Night's Main Event, and he
just kind of goes.
Oh, it's hysterical though. It really is.
Cool.
I would have to say it was probably my favorite thing in the entire WrestleMania.
I'm gonna go back and watch it again. I see if I pick up on anything I missed last night.
Oh, the Nikki Bella.
Sunday
was the biggest. Like, oh my god, they just really just say that.
See, I heard it, but it went over my head.
And
but when you said it, I was like, "Oh!"
On TV again for like a second, but they showed him.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That would have been great. But they're not going to do that.
I guess no. Somebody pointed out on Twitter they took the screenshot of CM Punk when he blew a kiss to Vince after winning at Money in the Bank, and they're like, "Oh, they showed CM Punk on TV." Because that's the whole situation going on with them.
Nikki's making them good money through the Total Belly show, so they're not gonna rock that boat too much.
No.
Yeah.
So, was there all the Hall of Fame inductees? Did they roll over to next year? Cause
I was gonna say that. What are they doing with that?
I mean, JBL was there.
Who all is supposed to go in?
Batista, NWO.
JBL, no,
featuring X-Pac.
Davey Boy Smith.
Yeah, X-Pac doesn't get out of here, X-Pac.
Oh, he deserves it.
He does.
Not an NWO.
Yeah. One of the best workers of all time.
We need to induct Buff Bagwell,
Virgil,
Stein, Virgil, all these guys.
I just mean Sean Waltman himself.
You mean Vincent?
Yeah, Vincent. He's not Virgil. He's Vincent.
Vincent.
Big difference. Big difference.
We need to induct Brett again.
Yeah, Brett, Lex Luger, Sting. Bring them all. You have 250 people on stage.
God.
That'd be great to get the Japanese guys.
Bring in the Latino World Order. Bring them all in there. The Blue World Order, Blue Meanie.
I have to deal with my own Blue World Order right now. I think we're good.
But overall, I didn't think the show was bad.
It was just a weird show.
I think it was definitely the it wasn't the worst WrestleMania. That's for me. It's like 27 and 11. Those are like the two worst for me. But this one was pretty solid.
Just no build up, no.
Like I said,
excitement.
Yeah,
no.
like I said before, for what they did, WWE, I commend them for doing the best that they could. And people talked. It was all over Twitter. That was really the only new thing that people were watching, and a lot of people seem to like it. So let's see. I think after this week, I believe they're going to go live next week with a few people, and then after that, we don't know. I mean, they were still advertising Money in the Bank, but I said they were still advertising Money in the Bank though.
Yeah, I heard.
So I don't know.
To take a break too.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who's going to take a break?
Because AEW is still going.
Yeah, I don't think
WWE.
because AEW is still going, they're not going to take a break.
Oh, okay.
As long as they're still going. Huh. All right, fellas. I think we did a good job for this week.
For sure.
Like I said before,
right at an hour.
I have shows to watch.
What are you going to watch?
I don't know. Whatever the wife wants to watch.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys see, just real quick before we go, some of the polls that went up today for our
I voted.
Our March turned into April Madness.
I think I voted.
So Leo better not lose to Samuel Jackson. That's all I'm going to say.
I'll give you the live update right now. Margot Robbie's up by 5 over Scarlett Johansson.
Really?
All right.
Emily Blunt is up by 10 over Anne Hathaway.
I guess. I don't think Emily Blunt should have lasted the last round.
Denzel Washington is stomping a mud hole through Brad Pitt right now.
Wow.
He's up by 38.
Wow. Walking him dry.
Walking it dry. And Samuel L. Jackson has a 4-vote lead over Leonardo DiCaprio. I voted.
That's crazy.
I voted for Leo.
So upset.
I voted
because
for Leo.
It should be Leo versus.
Hold on, let me. Kyle. No.
Yes.
Kyle voted for Samuel L. Jackson.
Why?
Cool.
Did he really?
So did producer Joe from the Put in the Book show. He voted James Profetto, one of the guys up in Boca who reviews movies up there.
This is the same
he
show
voted for him.
So.
Look, like I said yesterday, I said on Sunday on Shooting with the Shit, Samuel L. Jackson is great, but he's always Samuel L. Jackson, except for Django and Star Wars. And in Star Wars, he sucked. So that's why I'm voting for Leo, because Leo, he'll turn up like a different character,
Yeah.
Leo is the GOAT.
Samuel Jackson's outstanding, but he's just always him.
You need to put Leo versus Tom Hanks at the final two.
Look,
you have to. Putting
actually, you know what? I voted for Leo, but this gives Tom Hanks the path. It's over. Exactly. It's over.
It's like the Lakers going up against the Nets, or the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Nets. There was no chance the Nets were going to beat these teams. Like it's pointless.
This is great. Love it.
And somehow Pacino got shafted for this.
Well, the guy who got really shafted was De Niro. De Niro loses to Robert Downey Jr. No offense, but
yeah, I didn't agree with that one either. But yeah, everybody go out there and vote.
Vote.
Four is coming.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna do a recap show tomorrow night. I think. Probably about 9:00. We'll talk about some of the matchups from yesterday and today, and we'll talk about the matchups that are going to come Thursday and Friday. So, David, I think you should join us and voice that opinion of yours.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like there's a little bias on the person who created this bracket, and he's pushing his folks because, I've seen a couple of questionable things.
I feel like Dave and Kyle, it's got a little Brett Sean feel.
Yeah.
There's always been that little clash, the headbutting there a little bit.
So Who's who though?
So
Come on. You know who's HB.
So is Steve
HB.
is Steve Steve is gonna ring the bell on this one and put Tom Hanks over.
Ring the bell.
Kyle screwed
Ring the
Kyle.
bell.
Ring the bell.
Kyle screwed Kyle.
Kyle's gonna
That's the name of the bell.
Kyle, screw Kyle. He can look at himself in the mirror.
Dark side of the ring. Kyle Rango.
You're gonna have a black eye.
Yeah.
A black eye from Kyle. That's great. Oh, by the way,
That's hilarious.
Steve, I'm sorry, but since we never got through with the CST Army, I think we should do next week. We should do our favorite entrance music.
Yes, let's do it.
So let's do that next week.
I have everything.
Perfect.
I still have it all. Don't change nothing. Don't be surprised. You guys might be surprised at what you chose. So you're like, oh, what did I pick number 2?
Yeah, I don't remember what I picked, but I figured we might as well do that next week.
Yeah,
Is this going to be the versus?
Talk about. Sounds good.
What'd you say, Dave?
Is it going to be the versus the world, or is it just going to be
No, it's going to be versus the world. I have a website that I picked.
It's not Mojo again, right?
It might be Mojo because Arick loves Watch Mojo so much.
That's true. Number 1 subscriber.
Oh, you know what would be great is Brutus Beefcake did an episode on Watch Mojo.
That would break my mind. It would be over.
I'd wait for Arick to cut that promo. That'd be a great one.
Sounds good.
All right, so that'll be our next week. And anybody else have any ideas? Anybody want to talk about anything? Let us know. Throw it out there. We'll gladly do it. We'll try to keep you updated on the news.
Post it in the group.
Yeah, man. Post in the group. Show us pictures. Show us memes. Show us whatever you need to show us. The Just Too Sweet Show page, the Sports Talk Wrestling Federation page. Hit us up. Let us know what you guys want to see. Any farting words, fellas?
I got 2.
Stay home.
Stay safe.
Stay home.
Stay safe out there.
Stay home.
Assholes.
Number 1,
Jabroni.
everyone should thank
Shout
Matt
out to
Hardy.
the Essentials.
Who?
Everyone needs to be thanking
Yes.
Matt Hardy for the brilliantness that he did a
Matt
couple
Hardy
years ago.
walked.
That's where we got the
So Undertaker and Bray Wyatt could run. Damn it.
second
Cool.
thing.
All right,
White Claw,
fellas.
sponsor us.
Oh,
Just
geez.
Too Sweet.
Oh, no. Hey, if you can do we can get some free stuff. I'm just saying.
Gatorade Zero. I tried it today for the first time. It was really good.
Saying white.
See, that's all we need. We need a couple more people to talk about it. Maybe they'll send us some free cases.
Yes. Do it.
Send it up already. All right, it's time to wrap it up. Remember, just stay sweet, fellas. Peace out.
You're
Boom.
Peace. Sweet.